Good now?
Action.
Action. I may wind up having to move the clutch and brake pedal assembly as well. You know what? I need to go read a book. That's what I need to do. I don't know what I'm doing. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got the dune buggy again. The last time I made a video on this thing, we got it running and we got the clutch master and slave cylinders rebuilt, so the clutch kind of works. Well, the hydraulic system of the clutch works. I still got to figure out what's going on with the actual clutch itself. One of the viewers that watched the video the last time suggested that the clutch disc is probably rusted to the flywheel and or the pressure plate, which I never really thought about that. I mean, I guess it's possible, because I mean, it did run and dry when it came in here and now it doesn't, so that's most likely what it is. I never really thought about that because it's been sitting inside all this time. Maybe that's what's wrong with this clutch, who knows. But anyway, shortly after that last episode was released, a friend of mine hit me up and said, "Hey man, is this what you're looking for?" And it was the Wilwood master cylinder that I need to make the brakes work on this thing. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And he said, well, it's yours if you want it. And I said, heck yeah. So I ran over there and got it, and here it is right here in this box. Wilwood 3/4 inch brake master cylinder. That's going to work perfect for what we're doing here. After Buddy, the guy's name is Buddy Stevens, by the way, that gave me that Wilwood master cylinder. So Buddy, I really appreciate it. And you know what? I left the shop that day whenever I got that thing, and I completely forgot. I was going to give you some of my stickers, but I'll ride by there one of these days and I'll bring you some stickers and drop them off, man. So I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. So I had this ATV project and it drove me absolutely insane. I said, okay, fine, whatever. I sold that project because it was just irritating and I never did think it was ever going to be what I needed it to be. So I took that money and I bought some parts for the buggy. So let's open this up and see what's in there. Residual valve, steering brake. So let's open this up and see. Wow, that is nice. All right, so let's get to installing some of this stuff and see if we can't get some brakes on this thing. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Alright, I think I've got a little temporary trial spot mounted for it. The gear shift doesn't get in the way of it anywhere. Let's see here. First, second, third, and fourth. Here is reverse. So closest thing to the actual brake handle is going to be first gear, and I've got plenty of clearance both ways for that. So that's going to be I think that's going to be the place that I put it. I'm definitely going to have to mount this accelerator pedal further forward. My legs are a little bit longer than my dad's. I may wind up having to move the clutch and brake pedal assembly as well. kind of get my legs a little bit more straightened out. But anyway, that's roughed in for right now. So all right guys, we got the entire brake system plumbed, and by entire brake system I mean both back calipers, because we don't have any brakes on the front. It really doesn't make any sense to run front brakes on these things anyway, because the front ends are so light. Anyway, here's that new master cylinder the buddy gave me. Got it plumbed into a residual valve. This is a 2-pound residual valve, since we've got disc brakes in the back. That runs up to the steering brake. And you are seeing this correctly. Yes, the steering brake is mounted to a couple of 2x4s, because that's what the cup holder was mounted to. And I will go back and fix that one of these days. But for right now, I just wanted to get it done. So, and you'll see 2 lines coming off of this one, so you can lock each individual wheel up with the handle. So that makes it a lot more fun off-road. So next thing we're going to have to do is see if we can't get the clutch unstuck on this thing. And we got a few tricks that we've watched on YouTube or whatever we're going to try, and hopefully that'll work. Alright, so Rich is going to have to drop it, I believe. I just can't believe how stuck this thing is with it being inside all that time. That's just wild. Nope. Wow, I just can't believe that thing ain't wanting to break free. We'll try it some more. We're going to let Wendy try it this time. Brake. Oh boy. Brake. Yep. All right. Well, that's not going to work. So, on to plan B. All right, let's pull the motor out. See if we can't figure out what's going on with this clutch. Uh-oh, wrong way.
Built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it bluff. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it bluff. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it bluff. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it bluff. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it bluff. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it bluff.
Well, we got the motor out. I've always kind of suspected this motor had some performance upgrades to it. It sounds like it's got a cam in it to me. This clutch is obviously not a stock clutch. It says F and S on it. I don't know what brand that is. If any of you guys out there know what brand that is, shout out, put it down in the comments, do whatever. Remember before in the last episode I was talking about being able to manipulate this by hand, and it felt like all I was doing was going against this one spring right here, and it feels the exact same way, but that's as far as it'll go right there. That's as far. Oh, wait a minute, no, it'll go further. No, maybe I just don't have this. Maybe I just don't have that adjusted correctly. You know what? I need to go read a book. That's what I need to do. Or go on YouTube and look and see how to adjust this. But there's really not a whole lot of YouTube videos on Volkswagen stuff. Alright, let's measure where that throwout bearing sits right now. Roughly 3 inches. Alright, let's see where this one is. That's 2.5. So we've got a 1/2 inch gap there. I was just afraid to adjust that thing too much because I didn't want it to be putting pressure on the throwout bearing the entire time. I guess what I'm saying is I need to go ahead and adjust that slave cylinder to make sure that bearing is the same as this, which would be 2.5, be close to it anyway. I'm just spitballing ideas right now, guys. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, let's see where we're at now. Oh, I'm not going to measure with that, am I? Alright. Alright, we are roughly right at 2 inches, or just over 2.5. Just over 2.5 inches. All right, let it loose. Or push it. Push it, yes. All right, and we are just over 1 7/8. So, all right. So that looks like it should fix our problem. So anyway, hey, I didn't know. So, but sometimes you have to do things like this to learn. So anyway, we'll stick the motor back in it. I'm not going to torture you guys with all that stuff. So hopefully, whenever we get it all put back together, the clutch will work. We'll go ripping around on this thing and start having some fun with it. So, all right, guys, we got the motor back in. Surprisingly enough, when you adjust the clutch correctly, it works. So anyway, now we've got clutch action, so that part's good. Motor runs fine. While we had it all apart, we went ahead and took the seats out and fixed the bottom portion of the seat belts, so that way the bottom portion of the seat belts are going to be a lot safer than how they were mounted before. I still need to work on the upper mounts. I need to make myself a harness bar to come across. I haven't quite figured out how exactly I'm going to do that yet, because there's a lot of space here, but I also don't want to block off the space to block off the access from my battery there. So I'm going to have to figure out something. And also, while we had the seats out, I noticed that all of these bolts under here were, but all of the threads and nuts were sticking straight down. So I mean, that's just asking to be grabbed hold of on something on a trail, and about half of them I wound up, huh?
Ripped like that?
Yeah, and ripped like that. About half of them, of these bolts, I wound up having to cut out with a death wheel, because they just were so damaged that I couldn't just simply unscrew them. So wound up having to replace probably about half the hardware holding the floorboard on. So anyway, so that part's done. So the plan for tonight is to get the seats bolted back in, and I would like to start making a skid plate to kind of go through here to protect the transmission and protect the oil drain on the bottom of the motor. It looks like this has got a skid plate on it, but it's not even bolted on back here. So, and it's really, really thin stuff. So what I would like to do is to come from maybe here or somewhere and just kind of follow the contour of these frame horns, and maybe stop out here somewhere, but make it where I can take it off easily, so I can change the oil fairly easily. But hopefully we'll get that done tonight, and I'll show you the results. Alright guys, we got the skid plate made. It's nothing special, it's just a scrap piece of aluminum diamond thread that I pulled off of a machine a long time ago that I was scrapping out. Worked out perfect, because I mean, it's thick enough to give the engine and transmission some protection, but it's also just wide enough to protect the push rod tubes, to keep rocks from kicking up there and denting them, making them leak, whatever. It doesn't look fancy, but it doesn't have to, as long as it does the job. So we've got this done. I went ahead and cleaned all the junk out of the buggy earlier today, vacuumed all the dirt and crap out of it. So I think there's only one thing left to do.
Gonna have to let me braid it.
Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. I really appreciate you all watching. So like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things. Absolutely make sure you leave comments. And next time you see this buggy, we'll be taking it off to some park somewhere and having some fun in it. But for right now, this is just a gigantic win for us to get this thing out of that shop and back out on the road. So thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.